Welcome to Yatim Khana and Madrasa, Anjumal Khairul Islam's Pune College of Art, Science and Commerce. Myself, Dr. Arif Tamboli, working as Associate Professor in the Department of Electronic Science. I joined this institution on 1st August 1994. I welcome you all to the SYBSc class as you have already completed your FYBSc with a new syllabus, that is choice based credit system. You have already passed two semesters, semester 1 and semester 2 namely. Now you are entering into the semester 3rd. In semester 3rd, for your electronic science syllabus given by Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, for 2020 pattern is electronics paper first as communication electronics. So it is a paper first for communication electronics. And as usual, it is a 35 marks paper for university examination and 15 marks for internal examination. There are four chapters in this particular course of the electronic science. So we'll go through that four chapters in short. So unit number 1 is Introduction to Electronic Communication. So you can see over here the title, unit number 1, Introduction to Electronic Communication. So in this unit number 1, Introduction to Communication, we are going to study the means and modes of communication, block diagram of electronic communication system, electromagnetic spectrum, and so many other details such as TRAI means Telephone Regulating Authority of India and its benchmark for frequency allocation. Then in communication always there is a noise. So what is the noise? What are the different types of the noises? Then signal to noise ratio. All these things we are going to complete in this unit number 1. Unit number 2 is your continuous wave modulation technique, in which there are different techniques of the modulations which are used, such as amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation, because modulation is one of the important process in the communication techniques. So different types of the modulations we are going to study, then different types of the receivers we are going to study, radio receivers which is called. So there is basic crystal receiver, then heterodyne receiver, then super heterodyne receiver, and accordingly. So this is unit number 2nd. Now let us go to the unit number 3rd. So in unit number 3rd, we are going to study the techniques such as pulse modulation technique, types of analog pulse modulation, and we are going to study PWM means pulse width modulation, PPM means pulse position modulation, and some other techniques such as your time division multiplexing, frequency division multiplexing. So these are the technologies used in the communication field. And last chapter which we are going to study, that is unit number 4, is Introduction to Digital Communication. So block diagram of digital communication and advantages of the digital communication over analog communication, various types of the shift keys such as amplitude shift key, phase shift key, frequency shift key, so that all different types of the shift keys we are going to study. And in digital modulation, basically delta modulation and pulse code modulation techniques which are used, that also we are going to study. So in this way, in the four chapters, we are going to cover the electronic science as a basic principle, as a subject for the communication electronics. The reference books are already given by the university to you people. You can go through the reference books and you can study the material through the reference books, and we are also going to provide you the notes. So in this way, today what I will do, today I will start with our first chapter's first topic. So it will be the beginning for our second year's electronic communication course. So that is there. So look at in the unit number 1. So introduction to communication, means and modes. So this is a very simple topic. It is entirely a theoretical topic which we are going to study today, and means and modes. Nowadays, electronic communication is playing a very vital role in bringing the peoples together for understanding the views of each other or for understanding the science and technology. And nowadays, in this COVID-19 pandemic, entire electronic communication is playing a very important role in higher education, secondary school education, or even in lower KG, upper KG, and others education type also. So here, what are the means of communication? So all of you know that the information, the knowledge is exchanged every day with the help of so many electronic instruments such as radio, television, telephone, mobile phone, your internet means email, and all these are playing a vital role in this here. So here the forms of communications are given. So you can go through these forms of communication such as a radio broadcast, television broadcast, then telegraph, radar, sonar, fax machine. Fax machine also plays very important role. Nowadays fax machine is absolutely outdated, you can say that, because everything is sent in the form of PDF files with the help of email and internets. So like that, so in this way here, this is the forms of communication. Now there are the types of communication such as cable communication, then skywave communication, satellite communication, fiber optic communication, ground wave communication. So these are the means. All these are the means of communications which are playing very important role in exchanging the information from one location to another location. Now, next topic is about a very simple and theoretical topic, modes of communication. Modes of communication means types of communication. What are the different types of communication? So, if you just take an overview of this chart, you will understand that in this chart, this is the title modes of communication, that is the types of communication. And in this chart, you can say that entire electronic communication system is basically divided into three different blocks. Number one, it is called unidirectional communication, or it is also called as a bidirectional communication. So unidirectional communication or bidirectional communication, it is further divided into three parts that we'll see one after other. Secondly, it is divided into nature of information signal, whether the communication is analog type communication or a digital type of communication. And third one is the techniques of transmission, means information is transmitted from one location to another location, and there are various techniques to transmit the information from one location to another location, and depending on that techniques, that is classified as baseband transmission and broadband transmission, which is also called as communication using modulation. So here area covered is very large. Here in this case baseband area is very small. So let us go one after each other. Now let us talk about the modes of communication. So basically the communication is classified as unidirectional and bidirectional communication. In that there are three types. One is called simplex communication, another is called half duplex communication, and third one is called full duplex communication. So actually speaking, entire communication is basically divided on these three logics. There are three modes or the types of communication. One is called simplex communication, another is called half duplex communication, and third one is the full duplex communication. So simplex communication is a very simple communication which is taking only one way, means from source of information, the information will go to the destination, that is you at the receiving end it will be collected, and there is no other way communication. So it is a only one way communication, that is the simplex communication it is called. So for example, it is a radio communication. You can enjoy the radio Mirchi station or various radio stations which is called frequency modulation FM stations. So you are in a position to only receive the information, and that is the simplex. Another way you can tell like television. You are watching various television channels. So channel television channel is also what? simplex information, simplex communication, because you can only watch the channel, you cannot communicate to other side. So like that. So this is your simplex communication. Next comes to the half duplex communication. So what is a half duplex communication? So in the simplex communication, here you can read this. It is the simplex transmission mode communication between sender and receiver occurs in only one direction. Simplex communication is only in one direction. So another example given are your like this, your here a keyboard and monitor relationship is also simplex. From keyboard you can send the data to the monitor, means your actually CPU you send it and it appears in the form of character on monitor. So it is like that. Now next one is the half duplex communication. So in this half duplex communication, why it is called half duplex, not a full duplex? Because in this half duplex communication, at a time only one person can talk from this end to that end, means from transmitting end to receiving end, and after some time when he or she stops talking, the person on other end, that is the receiving end, can also talk and communicate to the person on transmitting end. That's why it is called half duplex communication. So half duplex communication is still considered as a one-way road. So it is a one-way road only. So like that here, for example, in walkie-talkie. So in police communication, that is a wireless communication, or in case of your traffic signal communication. So it is like that here. And this is the half duplex communication. And the third one is in full duplex communication. So the full duplex communication mode, the communication between sender and receiver, means transmitter and receiver, can occur simultaneously. So this is what going on nowadays in mobile communication, landline telephone communication, or you can say that you are, when you are in the office, you are talking to your neighboring building block with the help of intercom. So these are your, yes, full duplex communications. So in this way, basically these communications are classified as simplex communication, half duplex communication, and full duplex communication. So these are the three ways. But now let us again go to this chart. So in which it is mentioned that unidirectional or bidirectional, which we have completed as a simplex, half duplex, and a full duplex. Now, another way is called nature on information signal. So, nature of information signal, according to that, the communication is classified as analog and digital. Means, suppose now you are taking the printout with the help of a computer. So, when you save any file in a computer in the Word or Excel, so that file is saved in hard disk drive, and when you give the print command, that data will come out to the output port of the computer and it will go to the printer and printing mechanism or process will be completed. So this is entire digital communication from the output port of the computer to the input port of the printer. So that is why it is called a digital communication. Analog communication. So nature of communication, analog communication means, suppose you are in the Pune College and one department electronic science person want to talk to the department of botany. So there is an intercom system. So directly voice signal is put on the what, a telephone line, and by using a handset which consists of microphone, which consists of loudspeaker, you can transmit the signal, and your voice signal is the best example of analog signal. So in this way, nature of information signal, it is classified as analog and digital. So you can say like that. Then techniques of transmission. So baseband transmission and communication using modulation. So baseband, first of all, I will talk. Baseband is also analog and digital. Why? Because when you talking about transmitting the file from one computer to another computer by using local area network, that is called LAN, so that is nothing but digital, but it is a baseband. One computer is how much is at head of department's cabin, and head of department want to send the file to with the help of a LAN to the teacher. So it is hardly 20-meter, 30-meter in the premises, so that can be shared, that file can be shared. So that is called your baseband, means area is small, but digital information is transferred. So baseband digital. And now the baseband analog is nothing but just to, I told you before that what you are talking from electronic science department to the botany department with the help of landline telephone. So that is called intercom telephone. So intercom telephone is a best example of baseband communication. Then in case of communication using modulation. Modulation is a technique which is used for communicating the information from one location to another location over a long distance. So we are going to study the various types of the modulation, definition of modulation, need of modulation in detail. But now, just as what communication technology, the modulation is also called as very large area of reception, means you can communicate the information from one location to another location over a distance of hundreds of kilometers and thousands of kilometers. So that is called your communication using modulation. So technique is used. So this is the technique which is used, the modulations, and accordingly it is classified. So in this way, generally your modes of communications are various modes of communication, so which are described over here. Now, after understanding the various modes of communication, we'll proceed to the communication spectrum. So spectrum is very important, and spectrum means, whenever I say spectrum, it is electromagnetic spectrum. Means there is an electric field and there is a magnetic field. All of you know that electric field and magnetic fields are perpendicular to each other, and electromagnetic waves propagates in a free space with the speed as good as the speed of light. Therefore, electromagnetic wave is a very best solution to transmit the signal very fast. So electromagnetic spectrum, but you need to convert your information signal into electromagnetic signal, and antenna is the example of what converting an electric signal into electromagnetic signal, as well as converse is also true. Antenna also converts an electromagnetic signal into an electric signal. So there is a spectrum. So various frequencies are there. So let us start from a very low frequency. All of you know that the frequency is measured in hertz, and hertz is the basic unit. So if you start from a very low 3 hertz to 30 hertz, so this is an extremely low frequency. It is called ELF. So this is one particular spectrum, 3 hertz to 30 hertz. And then you have to remember, you simply take this 30 hertz over here and multiply it by 10, and then accordingly you go on increasing, and you will get what? Frequency spectrum. So here electromagnetic spectrum you will get. So next is your 30 hertz, you take it over here. So it is 30 hertz multiplied by 10, 30 hertz to 300 hertz. So it is super low frequency, SLF it is called. Then take 300 hertz this side to this side. So this 300 hertz to 3000 hertz, ultra low frequency. So 300 hertz to 3000 hertz, ultra low frequency. And remember, this frequency is a frequency in which human being voice is measured. Means here, when any human being talks, the frequency of the human being, that is called voice frequency, is in the frequency range of 300 hertz to 3000 hertz. Means 3000 hertz is as good as 3 kilohertz. So that is the frequency of human being's voice. So next is your 3000 hertz, means 3 kilohertz to 30 kilohertz. 3 kilohertz multiplied by 10, very low frequency VLF. Then 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz, low frequency LF. So like that here, this you can understand that when you'll come to the medium frequency, and then after this there is last band here, 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. This is called extremely high frequency. So you just go on following this table, you will understand that there is a particular electromagnetic spectrum, but start from 3 hertz to 30 hertz, 3 hertz to 30 hertz, and multiply by that, take that 30 hertz again in the next column and multiply it by 10, and like that you go on multiplying it, and this you will get electromagnetic spectrum. Now this electromagnetic spectrum, when you use for communication, what are the applications? So that I have just tried to explain here the applications. So 3 hertz to 30 hertz, extremely low frequency. This frequency is used by animals for communicating the information to each other, like elephants and other animals. Then next comes to 30 hertz to 300 hertz, super low frequency AC power lines. So our AC mains India frequency is 50 hertz. In European countries, it is 60 hertz. Accordingly, if you go on studying the various different types of the range, that is a spectrum, then you'll observe that 300 hertz to 3000 hertz, it is called voice frequency, is normally human speech, it is there. So it is there. Then best our more interest is what in communication, what are the different types of the communications which are used in day to day life. You know that there is a submarine communication, there is aeronautical communications, communication going on between the aeroplanes to the local means your air traffic controller. So this is going on in this range. So that is there. Submarine communication going 3 kilohertz to 30 kilohertz range. Then AM broadcasting for radio stations. So you know that there is a radio stations. So there are two types of the radio stations. One is called your FM, frequency modulation, and another is called AM, amplitude modulation. So Pune Vividh Bharati is your amplitude modulation. Radio Mirchi and all other things are your frequency modulations. So we are going to study in the chapter detail, but in short now you just understand that AM is having large reception area. Large reception area means the signal of AM can be transmitted over a distance of hundred of kilometer from transmitting antenna. So if suppose AM radio station is in Pune, then AM radio channel, suppose your Pune Vividh Bharati, can be catch by an instrument which is called radio at a distance of 100 kilometer away from the transmitting antenna. So that is the AM. That's why it is said AM is having large reception area. FM is having less reception area. FM is only for the city only, like in Pune Radio Mirchi is there, and FM is having the frequency range 88 megahertz to 110 megahertz roughly. You know, at 102 megahertz, 103 megahertz, 99.9 megahertz, there are so many radio stations which is called your FM radio stations are there. So here AM radio station is broadcasted in the frequency range of 300 kilohertz to 3000 kilohertz. So 3000 kilohertz is nothing but 3 megahertz. Now 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz. There are some radio stations like your BBC radio station, armature radio, which is called your two-way, but at a time only one-way transmission takes place. Then shortwave communication. BBC means British Broadcasting Corporation, so which is widely known for giving very fast news. So this is the BBC. Then next one is your FM, as I told you earlier, 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. So this is called your FM radio channel. So few FM radio channels are in this range you are here. So because it starts from 88 megahertz only. So from 88 megahertz onwards, it is there in this way. So let us come to the next your cell phone technology. In cell phone technology, when you establish the communication with your cell phone to another cell phone, the communication is established in the frequency range of 300 megahertz to 3000 megahertz. 3000 megahertz means 3 gigahertz. So cell phone technology is using this frequency spectrum, that is electromagnetic spectrum, and sometime it is also used as a military services also. Then 3 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz. So this is used for satellite and radar communication. From 1 megahertz, 1 gigahertz onwards, it is said that it is a microwave. above 1 gigahertz, it is said that it is a microwave. Then 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz military wave satellite. And in this way, these are the various applications, that is the frequency spectrum allotted by the Telephone Regulating Authority of India, that is TRAI. Now all of you know that there is a relationship between the frequency f and the lambda, and the relationship between frequency and lambda is given by the equation c is equal to mu into lambda, where c is the velocity of light, mu is the frequency in hertz, kilohertz, megahertz, whatever, and lambda is the wavelength. So if you know the frequency, you can calculate the lambda, that is the wavelength, because you know c velocity of light, which is taken standard as 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Now here the chart which I have shown here, which will give you the idea about the frequency started from 3 hertz to 30 hertz and what is its wavelength. So you know very well the relationship between frequency and wavelength here. Very low frequency, extremely low frequency, but wavelength is in thousands of kilometer. So 10,000 kilometer is the wavelength for this low frequency, because you can calculate it wavelength by using the formula c is equal to mu lambda. C is equal to mu lambda. C is the velocity of light. Mu is the frequency. Substitute the frequency as a, suppose 3 hertz, and then calculate by substituting the value of velocity of light, which is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, taken as a into consideration. And in this way, you can go through this. As you go on increasing the frequency, then you will observe that at extremely high frequency, in the range of 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz, 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz, the wavelength is in centimeter and millimeter. The wavelength is in centimeter and millimeter. So in this way here, in today's topic, just simple as an introduction, I have covered the means and modes of communication. So this is again a one chart which will again indicate here the frequency starting from, instead of 3 they have taken 0 hertz, doesn't matter, but we have to start from 3, because it is very easy to remember like that, 3 hertz to 30 hertz, and then 30 hertz you take it over here, then 30 hertz multiplied by 10, then 300 hertz, then 300 hertz you take it over here, then multiplied by 10 means 3000 hertz is 3 kilohertz, and accordingly like that. So in this way, in today's lecture, we have simply concluded a basics of the communication only, and here is a very simple chart which is given in the form of pie diagram. You can say that ELF, EHF, SHF, UHF, VHF, and like that here. So it doesn't matter, you can remember this table very well. So this table is very simple to remember, from what to what frequencies it is there, and that is called your what, electromagnetic spectrum. And in this way, in the first chapter, the first topic which is given over here, that we have completed, it is entirely a theoretical topic, and that topic consists of introduction to communication means and modes. Introduction to communication means and modes. Then in the next lecture, I will go for the block diagram of electronic communication system. So the means and modes, you just try to understand. It's very simple. The means and modes are very simple. There are various means with the help of the communication is done. You are familiar with that. You are doing day-to-day life. You are communicating with the mobile phones. You are communicating with the internet by sending the email. You are communicating by watching the what YouTube videos on the YouTube, WhatsApp, and all that things. So these are the various means. For these different types of the means, there are techniques used, such as sometime cable is used. Suppose you want to transmit the photo from your phone to your computer, then USB cable is used, or Bluetooth is also used. So like that, different types of the technique is used. Fiber optic cable is also the one of the communication channel which is used to transmit the information from one location to another location. But widely used is your electromagnetic spectrum. So whenever you convert an electric signal into electromagnetic signal, electric field and magnetic fields are perpendicular to each other, and it passes or it propagates in free space with the speed of light. Therefore, it is a very fast propagation, you can say that. And then modes of communication, different modes of communication, basically they are classified into simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. So simplex, only one way. Half duplex, only one way at a time, but after some time another person can also talk. Full duplex, simultaneously you can talk and you can or listen also, means two-way communication simultaneously. And then according to the types of communication, whether it is analog or digital, as I told you, digital means information transmitted from your computer to the printer, like that, or from one computer to another computer in LAN. So analog means your mobile communication also, you can say that it is analog only. Then your telephone communication is also analog. Then your intercom is also analog because voice of the human being is analog signal. Then this is also classified as what? Baseband or broadband. Broadband requires modulation technique. So in modulation, there is a special type of the modulations: amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation. That will see modulation is done only with an intention to transmit the information over a distance of hundreds of kilometers. Otherwise, baseband means your intercom is the best example of a baseband. LAN, local area network, is the best example of baseband for transmitting the digital information. And in this way here, this is the simple uh, concept or topic it is. So simplex communication, then half duplex communication, full duplex communication, and then electromagnetic spectrum. And different types of the frequencies are used for different uh, communication purpose. So you are aware about the FM, which you are going to listen every day. Uh, that is Radio Mirchi and all other stations. So that is FM, or Pune Vivid Bharati, that is AM, amplitude modulation technique. So now at this time you just remember this much. And thank you for watching this video today's. Now tomorrow's lecture or next lecture will go to the block diagram of communication system. Thank you very much.